The price of Bitcoin right now is $23,195, and currently Bitcoin has got a CME gap open, and that CME gap is currently sitting at approximately $23,185. What does that mean? Well, it means that Sunday evening tonight, again, the price is not going to change for pretty much the rest of Sunday. However, things are going to get pretty interesting on Monday. We had CPE inflation data that came through at the back end of last week. Now, that caused a slight decline in the price of Bitcoin, a slight increase in the value of the US dollar. But if we go over right now and look at the value of one US dollar, this is the value of one US dollar. Ignore these blue lines here. We're going to get onto those blue lines in just a second, and I'll explain what they mean. In fact, I'll just remove them from the screen straight away here so that they're not distracting anybody. Now, first of all, I want to go over the support and resistance levels that we're currently experiencing on the US dollar currency index. Now, the reason that's important is essentially if the US dollar currency index is going to continue to rise, we don't want to be in Bitcoin long positions anymore. We want to be in Bitcoin short positions, because when the DXY is rising, Bitcoin's price is falling generally. It's a general trend. Now, currently, I don't think it's going to go up any more than what it's already gone up. I actually believe that we are currently stuck very much within a downtrend right now on the DXY. And if we zoom out on the chart for the DXY, we can see that there is an overall greater downtrend that does appear to be we had a bounce off of this level of support right here. I think that downtrend is going to continue very soon on the value of the DXY. And if that's going to happen, and we're going to start declining the price of the DXY, I want to show you basically another thing. Again, I've just got rid of that indicator, but we'll put it back on the chart. This is the Bollinger Bands, and currently we're on the top of these Bollinger Bands right now, and I'd expect to get rejected all of these levels. Now, I expect the DXY is actually going to go back down next week, and this bullish trend is going to continue. The only reason why Bitcoin's price declined going into Friday was because of this not even negative CPE data. It was still bullish for Bitcoin. It just wasn't as bullish as what was expected. So that had a negative price impact on the price of Bitcoin, and that caused this ultimately slight drop down in price. Now, currently sitting at $23,199. I want you to slap a like on today's video. If you hit 1,000 likes, I won't do anything, but I'll be very happy. So please do drop a like on today's video. I'd appreciate it. And if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe. And right now, we're going to discuss what is going on with Bitcoin, and then we're going to get on to a couple of different altcoins and an exciting announcement about a specific altcoin as well. So, first things first, Bitcoin's price, $23,195. This is the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin. If we look at the Bitcoin weekly chart right now, you can see your RSI, it's not peaked, and your MACD, again, is trending bullish. Trend is your friend. Trends tend to last for a long period of time. Don't just write off a trend from a bad end to 1 week. I see, the reason I say that is because I see so many people right now going, oh, it's time to short, back down to 12K, back down to 10K. No, not going to happen. Don't be silly. The market's changing more than what people think. That ultimately, the real world, the financial markets are getting better and better and better. And because of that reason, it seems silly to be bearish on Bitcoin. Now, if we go over to the daily chart right now, look at what is going on with Bitcoin. We see a clear level of support has formed here. We appear to have bounced back to the upside of it. At the same time, Bitcoin is sat on this key level of support right here. There isn't actually a control line. The control line sits all the way down here at $16,750. Not sure why that is, but essentially, we maintain support of this level. And actually, this level of support has formed over the course of this weekend, and it does point towards the fact that essentially this is the key level of liquidity. Look, if we lose this range, yeah, we drop to the downside and we go back down to this level of support here, if that happens. So my bearish side prediction would be, look, if we lose $22,800 next week, the odds of a drop down become fairly significant, and I would expect to go back down to around $21,500. However, assuming that we hold these levels here, we should in theory bounce back to the upside and just go back up to about 25K. We break through 25K, Bob's your uncle. We all make a lot of money. The prices go up fairly significantly after that point in time. Now, what is the likelihood of that happening? Well, according to this chart, it's pretty decent. Like, the market doesn't look all that bad, to be honest, right now. And if we had to reintroduce, I don't know why it's not on here. In fact, it could be on here, but just maybe on a lower time frame. Yeah, the VWAP. As you can see recently, keep on testing the bottom of the VWAP here. That is indicating to me we're going to have a serious bounce back to the upside, fill this glut essentially. You can see here on the lower time frame on the hourly chart for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price currently sitting at 23,198. We're waiting for the weekly close, but when the weekly close has happened on the price of Bitcoin, we could probably expect to fill this gap again. And that is why I position myself long right now. If you look at my current open trades, of which you can see them here, I now have 2 trades open. happen, both of which using some significant leverage, I suppose. But between these two trades, here's about $1 million worth of long positions, one on Bitcoin, one on Ethereum. The Ethereum trade is currently $13,000 in a profit, and the Bitcoin trade is currently $472 in a loss. The entry points on these are 23,237 and 1,571. I longed right at the very bottom on Bitcoin the other day, but I wasn't positioned completely correctly for it. So I took profits on that trade as soon as it reached about $10,000 worth of profit. It was a very large position side using a lot of leverage. And I thought that'll cover some of the losses from the other day. Because again, bit of a red week last week because I was positioned long and I was also racing. So I didn't see what was happening on the charts, and then the prices were crashing. So I was like, damn, those were a few expensive days. Lost about $50,000, but we're back to it this week. Because again, it doesn't take a long time. As I always explain, it's not difficult to make money in crypto. You can make a lot of money really quickly. It's difficult to keep it. It's difficult to take it. And that's the thing that you've got to exercise discipline on. You've got to take profits. And I always stress it so hard. One of the reasons why I've been around for so long in crypto and I've been very successful at doing it is because I take profits. I just consistently skim profits off the table. Even now, on this trade here, I've skimmed $4,000. By constantly skimming profits off the table and withdrawing them from your account, it means that you can't lose them in future. So when you have profit on a trade, take at least 50% of it. It's always wise to do so. Even if that trade runs further and further into profit, you won't regret taking that profit if you keep exercising discipline. It's when you lose that discipline that you start losing money. And of course, if you are interested in trading, check out BYBIT tutorial that you'll see linked above my head right now. Would appreciate it. It's got some really good information in there if you want to learn more about trading and inform yourself. Again, how to, in that video, I basically explain a bunch of stuff about how I trade or how I used to trade. There are some additions that you'll see in the videos these days that make my trading technique slightly better than what it used to be, but it's a good overall explainer of where I've come from. I made a lot of money trading the techniques in that video. But anyway, Bitcoin's price right now, I think, is going to bounce over the course of the rest of the weekend. Guys, simply because the CME gap sits at $23,185. Currently sitting at $23,196. Again, price probably not going to change that much for the rest of the day. Just boo-doo-doo-doo. And then tomorrow, poop, is what I would expect because we have this glut in liquidity here. At the same time, when it comes to the price of Ethereum, we're going to get on to TAP in just a second. But before we get on to TAP, the price of Ethereum again, I think is going to bounce, hence why I've positioned myself $700,000 long on the price of Ethereum. When it comes to Bitcoin dominance right now, I expect Bitcoin dominance actually next week is going to pump. I think that it's actually getting attracted to these levels up here. And again, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. For the altcoin market, it probably means that all altcoins, or rather specifically small altcoins, start rising in value fairly significantly. I think probably a little bit of a way away again from a altcoin. No, we're not. No, we're not. If you look at the maths of it, typically when Bitcoin's price declines a little bit, you see altcoins rally again, then Bitcoin's price goes back up. One altcoin that I keep looking at in particular is Glimmer. Take a look at Glimmer. Glimmer's looking pretty good. And also, there'll be another 100X altcoin on my channel next week that I believe is going to increase very, very significantly in price over the next kind of week, 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever. It's going to do well, or at least I expect it to do well. Not financial advice. Do your own research. Don't buy something just because I publish a research paper on it. Do your own research as well. Now, of course, Bitcoin dominance, I think, is going to bounce back to the upside. I think that DXY is going to come down. What else have I got open here? DAFI. Now, DAFI, actually, this is an interesting one because DAFI's price recently has declined, but actually, it doesn't look all that bad. It looks like it's very much sat at a buy point right now. You can see we've got a double bottom occurring here. I think DAFI's going to pump over the course of the next week back up to these levels. And again, if it does that, that is a very significant increase in price for DAFI. If we actually look at it right now, bottom to top of what we're looking at, that's about an 84% increase in price if it was to resume trading at its previously known levels. So I'm buying DAFI right now at 1.9 cents. It's only like a $14 million market cap. It's small. I'm buying some. Now, at the same time as discussing DAFI, we also have to discuss TAP. And TAP clearly bottomed out the other day. Nice bounce back to the upside. Volume looking decent right now. Clearly more buys than sells coming in. Just a couple of somewhat large walls here. And once those walls have evaporated, there's no resistance in the charts at all the way up here. Like as soon as, like if you remove those two walls, which is 2 Bitcoin, it would only take 4 Bitcoin to make the price of it rise about 35 to 40%. I think I might do that. If those walls weren't there, I definitely would do that. But at the same time, those walls are the best ones for anybody to be getting in on because there's the most liquidity at a low price. And then as soon as the price starts rising, there is less and less liquidity as less people want to sell as the price is rising. Interesting stuff. I think that TAP's going to have a great week over the next few weeks because, of course, we've got the USA launch coming up fairly soon. At the same time, you've got US marketing, you've got growth of their USA communities, and of course, growth of the users of their application. At the same time, then you've got the next token burn coming up, some more RNS feeds are building up as well. There's just a lot of things going on with TAP, and it's quite exciting. For me, I'll be holding it, and as I said, it's just a long-term hold for me. I don't intend on taking profits anytime soon. For me, it's just buy, hold, buy, hold, buy, hold, and just keep accumulating as much as possible so that then, you know, nobody can dump on you if you own the supply. That's part of my theory behind it, is if you hold enough of something, nobody can have control over you if you control the liquidity, which means that you have an element of control over price, and being it's a utility coin and nothing else, you can have that kind of, I mean, people that hold a lot of Apple stock, they hold a lot of control over Apple stock's price. They can just drop a bunch of it if they want to, or they can buy a bunch of it if they want to, because if you've got a lot of Apple stock, generally they've got a lot of money as well. I feel like by having a lot of a coin, you have some element of control over the value of that coin, and I really want the coin's value to increase. If you also think of it from my perspective, look, if I'm to buy $100,000 of that coin, and that increases the value of my bags by, I don't know, $500,000, it makes sense to spend 100,000 to make 400,000. That's the appeal. There is a lot of I mean, it's just a smart thing overall to do. Just accumulate things and accumulate things and accumulate things. And that's what I'm doing there. Anyway, we've discussed DAFI, we've discussed TAP, we've discussed Bitcoin, we've discussed where the CME gap is going to be, which is $23,185. And tonight I'm going to be coming at you again, possibly with a live stream on the main channel, maybe a video, I'm not sure yet. But make sure you are, of course, slapping a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully next week goes as fantastic as what so far the rest of this year has done. Hopefully the markets continue to go pretty well. Just watch out for those lower levels of support on Bitcoin. If we lose those levels of support, then we drop significantly to the downside. So it's going to be an interesting week next week. I'm leveraged long. And of course, if you are interested in trading, check out the link to the trading tutorial on the screen right now. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.